All right, so this is part two of drawing your support and resistance. So support and resistance, right? You guys can draw support and resistance at any single time frame. You guys can draw from the monthly time frame, the weekly, daily, all the way down to the 5-minute time frame, right? Now, what you guys got to keep in mind is that whenever you guys draw a support and resistance at any single time frame, in this case, it's the weekly time frame, right? Whenever you guys draw it off the weekly time frame, it's only going to be valid just for the weekly time frame. It's not going to be valid for the daily time frame, for the 4-hour, or all the way down to the 5-minute time frame. Just going to be valid for the weekly time frame. Now, just to give you guys a reminder, remember, resistance is always going to be on top and the support is always going to be at the bottom. Now, support and resistance, right? You guys can find support and resistance any single time. For example, right over here we have a previous support, which is now a previous resistance, which is now being used as support, right? Over here we have a previous support, which is now being used as resistance, right? Now, support and resistance, you're gonna find it everywhere, right? Every single day the market is creating new support and resistance. Now, what you guys gotta know is that you guys have to understand how to draw the valid support and resistance, because you can find support anywhere. For example, in this case, this is a support right over here. We have support right over here. We have support right over here. But notice how it's not valid into the areas that we're going to be interested in trading, right? So you guys got to focus on what price is currently at the moment, right? So you guys want to draw support and resistance at current price structure, right? You guys don't want to focus on previous price structure, for example, right over here, or any other market, right? You guys want to focus on current price structure. Now, we're gonna go into, I'm gonna show you guys how to draw them from the weekly, how to draw them from the daily, and we're gonna go all the way down to the 1-hour time frame. The 30-minute, 15-minute time frame, the 5-minute time frame, you guys can draw them as well. Now, me personally, since I'm a swing trader, right, I like to focus on the higher time frame. I'm gonna show you guys how to draw them on the 5-minute time frame, but I usually just stick on to the higher time frame. So let's get right into it. All right, so before we go and draw the support and resistance, right, I want to give you guys some example with market structure, right? Remember in the market structure video when I explained that whenever price is creating higher highs and higher lows, right, we're breaking above previous resistance, so that price can use it as support to continue breaking to the upside, right? So right over here, this is the uptrend. Remember, whenever price is an uptrend, we're breaking above resistance to then use it as support. Whenever price is breaking to the downside, right, we're breaking under support, so we can use it as resistance to then continue back into the downside, right? So I'm going to give you guys an example with that in the actual chart. So check this out. Right over here, we have an uptrend, right? We have a low point here. We have a higher high point over here, right? This is the higher high because this high is higher than the previous highs over here, which in this case is the lower highs. So notice how we form a support right over here, right? This is our major support in this price structure right over here. Price broke above, created a new resistance, which is going to be right over here, right? So this is the new highs, right, that price has formed, right? Now, price came into this other resistance, like I did explain. Whenever price comes into resistance, it either can reject or either can break above. So in this current price structure, price did reject this previous resistance, right? Now, we started pulling back to now retest previous lower highs, which, as you guys can see, price formed it as a support, right? So this right over here is this uptrend. This is confirmed an uptrend, right? So we have a low point here, a higher high, and then we come back, retest this previous lower high, which price is now using it as a support, right? Or as a new higher low. So this is resistance right over here, and this is support. Now notice whenever price retested the support, like I explained over here, right? Price breaks above resistance, use that as support to then push back into the upside. We retested this area, give us all the confirmation, and then price started breaking back into the upside, right? So we formed a new high point right over here, which this is going to be actually the major weekly resistance, which I'm going to go later on. But this is already the weekly major resistance, right? Now, once we tapped into this zone, right, notice how price pulled back again to retest this other area of resistance to continue holding it as support, right? So check this out. We have this low point here, high point, higher low, higher high, and then a higher low. Retest resistance to now be used as support, and then once again price broke back into the upside to create our new highs, right? Now, same thing whenever price is in a downtrend, right? We're breaking under support. So check this out. Right over here, we have our support, right? Notice how we started failing to break past the upside, and then price is already having a switch of structure. So notice how we broke above the upside, price tried to maintain above, but we failed, and then price started breaking under structure, right? We broke under this previous support, which price broke under. We got the pullback, price used it as resistance to then continue breaking under, right? So we have a low point over here. Price once again pulled back to retest the same exact zone of support, which price used it as resistance one time. Price again tried to retest it again or try to pass break it, but we failed breaking it, and then price used it as resistance, right? Like I said earlier, whenever price comes into resistance, right, either can reject or either gonna break above it, right? So in this case, we reject the same exact resistance, right? Now we go down into the daily time frame. Check this out. Notice support broke under, used it as resistance. broke under again, pull back, use it as resistance, right? So check this out. Support turns into resistance whenever we're in a downtrend. Resistance turn into support whenever we're in the uptrend, right? So you guys have an idea how support and resistance already work. So now we're gonna go into how to draw your support and resistance. Alright, so we have our weekly resistance right over here at 2074, and then we're gonna have our weekly support right over here at 2004 area, right? Now, check this out. The reason why this is gonna be our weekly support and not this one or this one is because price is currently trading above this previous other support, right? Price is currently trading at this price point over here. Now, before this was once used as a support, right? So whenever price was at this price point over here, this is now gonna be a valid support. Same thing over here. This was once used as support whenever price was trading at it, right? So we're not going to really mark this up because it's no longer valid, and this is where price is trading at the moment, right? Now these two previous support can be used as future profit targets. So whenever price starts breaking under this chart, under these areas, this can be used as a take profit. Same thing over here. Whenever price starts breaking under this area, this can also be used as a take profit. But since price is currently trading at the moment, we're going to focus at this point right over here. Alright, so now we're looking at the daily time frame. So whenever you guys draw your support and resistance, right, you guys want to make sure that price actually touches the candle. For example, right over here we have the resistance, and then over here we have the support. So make sure that this line over here touches the candles. So we're going to be looking now at the daily time frame, right? We're going to be only focusing on what price structure is doing right over here, and not what price structure did right over here or in the previous structure. So on the daily time frame, right, we're only going to be looking at what price is doing over here. So this over here is a resistance, right? But it's not going to be a valid resistance because price is not trading right over here. It's not trading no longer above this area. Now, once price starts breaking back into the upside, this can be used as a future take profit. Same thing over here. This can also be used as a future take profit. So looking at our weekly daily resistance, right, we already see that daily resistance is going to be right over here at the 20-30 areas, right? This over here is still going to remain as our daily support. Going now into the 4-hour time frame, right? Now check this out. You guys want to fix this, put this like this. So same thing over here, you want to fix this. All right, so now looking at the 4-hour time frame. So like I explained, this is no longer, this daily resistance is not valid because we're not trading over here. But check this out. Notice how in previous price structures, this was once an area of support, right? This was once an area of support that price broke under it. We got the pullback, and then price used it as a resistance, confirming that price is now switching structure. We're no longer in this uptrend. Now price is switching structure to now creating this downtrend. So this over here was previous support to now be used as a new resistance, right? So check this out right over here. This is our daily resistance, which if you go into the 4-hour time frame, you can see that this also was a previous area of support, right? So let me just draw this like this. This was also a previous area of support that price failed to break above it, and then we use it as a resistance. So again, we have this high point here, a low point here, a lower high, a lower low, and a lower high. Support turns into resistance. Support turns into resistance to then continue breaking back into the downside. Now, looking at our 4-hour time frame, right, we're going to focus on what price structure is currently doing at the moment right over here. So right over here, you can see that price has this area of support where we're now using it as a resistance, right? So we have a low point, we have a high point here, a low point, and then lower high. Retest this previous support, which price is now using it as a resistance, right? So that's our weekly, our 4-hour resistance support. Now going down into the 4-hour time frame, you guys can literally see it. Where support over here turns into resistance, which means that price is now trading under. Now looking into the 1-hour time frame, right, our 1-hour support and resistance, we're gonna focus on what price is doing at the moment right over here. So we're gonna have our 1-hour support right over here, which is gonna be 2012, and then our 1-hour resistance is still gonna be this area over here. Now check this out. Notice how once we came into this area of support, price used it as resistance, right? We now have another support, which this is a minor support, which you guys can find it off the lower time frame, right? So on the 30-minute time frame, right, this is going to be a minor support, which price broke under, right? Meaning that price is now trading under this minor support over here, which ideally you have to wait for price to pull back into the area to see if price can remain under. If price does remain under, then this is the area where you guys want to be looking for sells, right? So that's exactly how you guys are going to draw your support and resistance for every single time frame. Like I said earlier, right, I only focus on the higher time frame. I only like drawing my support and resistance from the 30 all the way up to the weekly time frame. I really don't focus on it on the 15 or the 5-minute time frame. I do have this strategy of the lower time frame, which I'm going to drop it later on with this course, but like I said, since I'm a swing trader, I just like to focus on the higher time frames. Alright, so now that we're done with this video, what I do recommend you guys to do now is to go into your Astro chart and then start looking for your support and resistance for every single time frame. That's going to be all for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.